Hey everyone, it's Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. I have Victor Wong here from Zoologist Perfumes. We're going to talk about the brand and how it got started, and also we're going to do a giveaway, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on this channel or you've been watching videos and still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Victor, thanks so much for doing this video with me.
Well, thank you very much.
Tell me a little bit about the brand. How did you come up with the idea and why Zoologist Perfumes?
Well, I like to collect things, so when I'm obsessed with things, then I start collecting them. So before I'm obsessed with perfumes, I collect a lot of little animal figurines. So then I became obsessed with perfumes, and I wanted to have my own brand. And one day I was just thinking, what if I could make a brand that has animals and the perfume itself could be a collectible? So that's how the idea came about.
Wow, that's a great idea to combine those two.
Yeah.
So were you always a fan of perfumes?
To be honest, no, really. I discovered niche perfumes maybe about 6 years ago, but I fell into the rabbit hole really deep. So yes. So
you've been collecting?
Yes, I've been collecting, and I've been buying perfumes, reading Luca Turin's review book, trying to collect all the 5 stars perfume that he recommended. And then I realized I am in trouble because I have so many perfumes, and I feel like, oh, maybe I should do something for myself financially.
Wow. When you came up with the idea, what animals were you thinking about immediately to make perfumes of?
Right. The first few perfumes that came to my mind was the one that used animalic musk in traditional perfumery, like castoreum, civet, like even deer musk. But I know that they are, the old days when they obtained the musk or the animalic part is like very crude. So I want to create a line that could mimic the traditional musk used and use synthetic materials.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first few perfumes that came into mind was actually beaver, civet, and deer.
So beaver for castoreum, civet for civet,
right,
and then deer for the
deer musk. And later I discovered the Hyraceum, which came from Hyrax.
Hyrax,
yeah.
Which you have?
Yes, which will be released very soon.
And that's Lucky Scent exclusive?
That will be my own website and Lucky Scent exclusive.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you don't have a deer in the collection, though.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future. So, how do you find perfumers to create fragrances for you?
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, when I started, I knew no one. I only knew the internet. So I posted on the internet asking people questions. I wanted to start my own brand. Who wants to be a perfumer for me?
Oh, wow.
So Paul Kyler and Chris Bartlett, volunteered. So I start from there. And as the brand grows a bit more, through the network, I knew more perfumers.
Cool. So what's the most popular in the collection? Which animal?
The most popular is camel, but it's for Americans only. I mean, for the Middle East market, the most popular one is panda.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how many animals do we have now in the collection?
Now we have 13.
13 animals?
Yeah.
And how often are you releasing new animals or new fragrances?
Well, I've been told that I should not release so many so often, but the problem was that I collaborated with a lot of perfumers, and a lot of the perfumes have already been done.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be releasing Moth, and Moth was actually done 2 years ago. So, and the perfumers, some of them are not as patient. They really want to have their perfumes, released. They want to see the illustrations on the label, and they keep asking when are you going to release the perfume. So that's why I'm releasing them like really frequently, and I'm slowing down a little bit.
Okay. I want to talk about the illustrations. How do you have an illustrator that does all the?
Yes. Before Zoologist, I was a video game graphics artist, so I was a 3D modeler. the person who did the illustration was my coworker. She was the background artist and illustrator for video games.
Wow.
So I asked her one day, say, do you want to do illustrations for my labels? And she said yes. And of course, she didn't expect that many illustrations to be done over the years. And she's always very busy, and I always have to ask her, when do you have time to make more illustrations for Zoologists?
Wow. Because I really love the way the packaging is. Were you inspired by anything in particular?
I like the old style vintage Victorian-esque, the animals wearing clothing. And I also didn't want the illustration to look like a real animal, because it is actually an interpretation of the animal through perfumes. If I have a real photo of the animal, and when people smell the perfume, they say it doesn't really smell like the real actual animal, right? So that's why I want the perfume to have little whimsical and fantastical elements to it.
Awesome. So going back to the fragrances are inspired by the animal's surroundings?
Sometimes. But if you've gone to a safari or a zoo, you know that most animals, they just really stink. And so you have to use inspiration, using their diets, maybe how it was portrayed in a cultural sense, and use those inspiration.
Awesome. How many tries do the perfumers do before you have a winner?
Usually on average maybe 6 to 7, but depends on the perfumer.
Okay.
There is a perfume that is just one take.
Wow.
Yes, there's one take.
Can you tell us what that is?
It will be released next year.
Oh,
and it's a bird.
Oh, it's a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird.
It's a bird. So what's in store then in the future?
So I'll be releasing Moth soon in May 4th. Okay. And then I'll have Hyrax release. And then for the rest of the year, I have one more perfume to release, and it's a reptile. And you have smelled it, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a big reptile.
It's a big reptile.
Yes. Then next year I have one more reptile, which is much smaller, and the bird. So
Okay.
yeah. But I'll tell you the perfumer of the next one. I'm very excited about it. It's by Antonio Gadani.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's the perfumer, the house owner of Vogue.
Vogue Perfumo.
Perfumo. Yes. So if you're a fan of that of his perfume, you know what to expect. It's going to be very bold.
I smelled it. It was good. Cool. Any last things you want to say?
Well, I just want to say to all the fans, thank you for your support and your comments and the love on social media, Instagram, everything. So thank you so much.
So we're doing a giveaway. One lucky subscriber to win an 11 ml of any one of the fragrances of their choice, right?
Yes, that's right.
Does that include Hyrax?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, if you want to participate in the giveaway, please make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and please put down in the comments which zoologist fragrance sounds the best to you. Also, please put down your country so that you qualify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Thank you.